Moo. What
was that?
That was the perfect introduction to this episode.
Ooh.
You know what, Cameron? Halloween is coming up. I wouldn't
true.
say it's... Would you say
Upon
it's
us?
right around the corner at this point?
I mean, it's October.
Yeah, so it's right around... Everyone's mind is on
October?
Halloween. Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's mind is on Halloween right now.
Yeah, mine sure is.
I don't know where you stand with the holiday out there, and those listening.
Right.
Some people like to go crazy with the decorations and the trick-or-treating and the dressing up.
Some people go way too far into like the weird spooky aspect and put like bodies in their front yard.
I literally
don't
had
care
a
for
neighbor
that.
at my old house who went absurdly crazy with the Halloween decorations.
Yeah.
Did you come over and look at this?
I did. It was terrifying.
Crazy.
I did not want to go
and
there.
this is not like a, I don't know. We didn't live in like a really walkable neighborhood that was like really like trick or treating. It was pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a entry level, just got married first neighborhood, right? And he would open up his garage door, and he like set up this whole thing, all these bodies.
It was so
all
weird.
These mannequins, and there was a hospital bed where this guy was in there setting up. He had the strobe lights. I mean, he just loved it.
He loved it.
He loved it.
Absolutely loved it. You know who else loves Halloween? My son,
Jack.
Wait,
Sorry,
Chad.
Redacted.
No, he is, for whatever reason, I don't know what happened or why, but he started wanting to only watch the Halloween episodes of like his favorite shows, which is like if you give a mouse a cookie, there's like this one where they have these weird, like they're not weird ghosts, they're like a balloon with a sheet. So it's just like a weird sheet ghost, you know?
Yeah, he's got a little affinity for the spooky.
He thinks it's so cute. And like, you know, the
Ghosts are, the undead are hilarious.
What's
Wait,
the
undead,
iPhone
that's
thing?
a zombie.
The iPhone thing where the Memoji, is that what it is?
I don't know.
Animojis. Animojis on the iPhone.
I'm getting behind on knowing what technology does.
So on your iPhone, you can like, it's something called Animojis where it like tracks your face. And like
that's
when
not
you
creepy
talk,
at all.
talk,
they're not going to use that for any
when you
nefarious
talk,
intent at all.
Their mouth moves. And there's one of them that's a ghost, and he always goes like scrolls down to it and clicks that one, and it's like ooh, and he like does this weird like ooh ghost thing.
Yeah,
he thinks it's so funny.
Well, that's great.
We're not. I guess he comes by it honest. My wife, she whenever she was a kid, her favorite movie was
Halloween Town,
Nightmare Before Christmas, which is
a weird movie
weirder
because you have to watch it.
On
After
Christmas?
Halloween,
At Halloween?
but before Christmas. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it a Halloween movie?
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
Is it watch anytime? I guess that's true. watch anytime between.
I think it's
because it's kind of on the heels of Halloween going into Christmas,
but
right?
she watched it year round, so much so that her mom was like, "You're done with this," and took it away.
Tim
That was
Burton.
back when you could take away movies because they were on disc or VHS. Like
good times.
Good times.
A little Tim Burton for you.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas, which
That was
randomly
really good
enough, last night just started watching a Tim Burton movie.
Oh,
Guess which one it is.
Edward Scissorhands.
Nope.
Was that a Tim Burton movie?
I think so. But it is Mars Attacks. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen that in forever.
I didn't even know it was Tim Burton.
It's kind of odd.
Oh, it's real weird.
Very weird.
I mean, he's weird.
It's Tim Burton.
But it struck me as like how good he is at art direction.
Yeah.
In movies, like the patterns, the clothes, he loves big stripes, big bold, like polka dots, and because like because I haven't watched this movie and like we watched it when we were young
for whatever reason.
I don't know why we were allowed to, but we did. Maybe we watched at our cousin's house.
Yeah.
But everything that we're going through, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm like, I remember that pattern. I remember that iconic donut on top of the donut shop. Like these kinds of things that Tim Burton's really good at. And like, anyway, we'll get into. This is not an episode about Tim Burton.
This is not our favorite Tim Burton films
yet. But what we're doing today, since Halloween is coming up around the corner.
It's right around the corner. You could say that.
Maybe in a couple weeks. I don't remember actually when we're dropping this episode. But
I don't know.
It'll be closer to Halloween than it is
soon.
now. We thought, hey, let's do a little themed.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a couple themes.
Yeah,
I like
hey.
Halloween. It's fun, spooky. Yeah.
times,
Maybe
fun times.
Let's throw some like, what do you call it? Spider webs back here. That'd be fun.
I'm not gonna do that.
All right, but today we're talking about if you've looked at the title, you're already clued in. We're talking about B-list villains,
not your Darth Vaders.
We're not talking about Darth Vaders,
not your Lord Voldemort,
Jafar.
No.
What's the Scar? Like these are Disney. Everyone's gonna go to those.
Yes.
I thought that's too easy. That's
too easy.
Low hanging fruit. We want the B-listers.
Yes.
The ones that don't quite get as much screen time.
People don't think about them as like when you're thinking like amazing villains, but they are some amazing villains.
But they bring, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Some of mine, it's not like they're the most cinematic, crazy, amazing characters, but I just thought of them as I like this one.
Same.
Okay.
Absolutely same.
I didn't put loads of thought into it. It was just instinct.
Yeah.
It was
a lot
instinct.
Of instinct. Yeah. No googly.
No googly.
No googly.
No googly. We didn't Google
Just off our brains.
Yeah. So we got a little villainous game set up for the theme. We've got Lord Voldemort. We've got this Satan character. I'm not sure who that is. But then this guy with a few arms.
He's a Goristro is what he is.
Okay. Well, he looks very evil. So
well, he is a fey demon. Anyway,
so we thought we'd.
I don't think he's a fey demon. I don't remember what he is.
I think without any further ado, let's get the heck into this list.
It's your list. You go first.
All right, I'll go first. We're hoping to have fun with this.
You chose the list.
Okay, my number 5 is Yzma.
Ooh.
From Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Do you like this movie?
I love this movie.
Emperor's New Groove is hilarious.
It is probably one of the funnier movies. David Spade did such a good
Yeah. I mean, you got David Spade. You got Kronk, whatever his name is in real life.
Oh, yeah. His voice the whole time is just good.
He was born to play that character.
100%. That is
anything else he's in,
mission.
it's just like, this is just Kronk.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's Kronk. I know where he is, yeah.
But Yzma is just really funny, and there's lots of hilarious moments in that movie.
Yes.
I just really like
it's a very fun movie.
That movie, I like her as a villain.
Yeah, whenever she ends up going to Pacha's house, and they're like playing, and Kronk's playing jump rope with the kids. It's good times.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just a joy.
I love Kronk who goes from being a bad guy to a good guy in that movie.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I don't know
if he was ever a
spoiler.
I don't know if he was ever truly a bad guy. He's just a misunderstood. He doesn't understand.
Yeah,
he makes whenever he cooks that full meal for him, and he's just like, hold on a second on that. And he's just making these amazing little food bites, quiches and stuff. It's wonderful.
Yeah, so that's my number 5. Yzma.
Then when she turns into a cat. Is that my voice?
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Great moment.
Great
moment
cat,
in the movie.
And then she's really ugly.
If you have not seen Emperor's New Groove, what are you doing?
If you haven't, come on, do it right now.
It's time. It's
a great movie.
It's time. Speaking of time, it's time for my number 5.
Let's hear it.
Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh man, he's later in my list.
Oh man,
stealing my fun. I thought of all the B-list villains, I didn't think we'd have any of the same.
But I love Back to the Future, and
he's my number 1.
Is he really?
Yes, I love.
Oh man,
Back to the Future, and I love Biff.
Well, then he's your number 1. You talk about him for a bit. I'll let you take the lead on this. Then
you know what? I actually need to watch Back to the Future again.
I just did. That's
you
the
just
thing.
did?
I literally just. I
saw that it's on Netflix.
Month. That's why I watched it.
All 3.
I only watched the first one. I watched the first one and half of the second one, where the character that plays Biff is playing Biff's like grandson.
Yeah.
And it's so terrible, but like in a great way.
What's Biff's famous like catchphrase line?
Well, I mean, he does McFly. Dadgummit, I can't remember, but it was so good.
McFly.
His whole countenance, his whole character. He's like, you got something on your shirt, and like hits him in the nose.
The classic bully.
He is like the bully.
I like old Biff.
Yeah, old Biff.
I like old future Biff, like from when they have like the screen, like I don't know where he goes.
So the second
future, the second movie, and like Michael J. Fox is old, and then Biff is like his butler or something like that, or cleaning person.
I didn't finish watching it. I got halfway into the second movie and I was like, what am I doing?
I'm a grown man.
because the first one, really great movie, totally holds up. The second one,
it's kind of more the same.
It's more nostalgic.
It's kind of more the same. And then the third one, with the Western twist.
Yeah.
It brings it back up. You kind of go down the second one, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then like Western.
Yeah.
What? Doc in Western clothes?
Yes.
Great. Sign me up.
Great Scott.
Sign me up.
Yeah, which is just So Biff, he's my number 2 because
he's also my number 1. It was your number 4.
It's not my number 2. It's my second one.
Maybe your first one. Yeah.
Oh my
5.
gosh! I thought
We're
I
all
moved
over the
them
place.
up. Sorry,
Number your things.
I should really number my list. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Biff is great. I do love Biff. Sorry, my number 5 was your number 1.
That's all right. This is the nature of this format. So sometimes we're gonna steal each other's thunder.
Should I just go again?
No.
All right.
I'll go. Number 4 is Mayhem from the Allstate commercials.
Oh man. Oh my god! I hate that guy.
That's why he's so good.
He is amazing at what he does
because he's always such a d-bag.
And when he's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
yes, as the vulture.
Oh my gosh!
He's just the same character.
It's more of him
as Mayhem, but just in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's literally the same character always, but his character is so strong because he's such a d-bag.
He's like the Pimento guy, the guy that plays in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who does.
Yeah, he's also in Parks and Rec as Dennis Feinstein.
Dennis Feinstein plays the same character, but he's so strong at it.
Yeah,
like 2 times.
Yes.
And so
Agreed.
I would say that's Mayhem. But I like legitimately. I'm just like I don't like this. Whenever I'm watching,
I'm a teenage girl, and just got a text from my boyfriend. And then it crashes. So good. Okay, so there's 3 for me. There's 3 categories of advertisement commercial. Category number 1. These are commercials that are just annoying and white noise and stupid, i.e., pharmaceutical commercials, right?
Yes.
So you're saying like a drug commercial.
Yes.
These are ones you want to mute.
Yes.
You want to mute. You don't want anything to do with.
I want to skip all commercials. You want to skip it, but still.
Number 2 category is are ones that if it's on, you'll tolerate. It'll keep your attention all the way through. You kind of know what it's about.
Yeah.
And then there's number 3, Mayhem from Allstate, where if it's on, I'm gonna watch it because it's a funny scene. It's a funny joke. I'm guns to watch. I'm gonna turn it up and watch.
Probably my favorite commercial that I ever saw that legit made me laugh out loud was for Snickers almonds. Have you seen this commercial?
Snickers with almonds?
Is it
so
like they call it Snickers almonds? So basically,
you're being grumpy and you're not being yourself. Those ones?
No. So because the almond one, it's a different format for the commercial, and so there's these 2 guys in a car, and one of them's like in the passengers, or one of them's driving, and he's like, "Oh man, I just love almonds. Do you like almonds? I love almonds."
Yeah.
And he's saying almonds really weird, and the passenger just goes, "No, it's the driver." He goes, "It's almond," and he goes, I love almonds. You think I could get almonds? And he's like, he keeps saying almonds, and then the driver literally unbuckles and jumps out of the car while it's still going. That to me was the best commercial because it was so unexpected.
Yeah. Okay.
You do something that it's really unexpected.
For me, best commercial of all time for me has got to be I'm on a Horse. Old Spice.
Oh man,
that was like the OG. You know, like how Dollar Shave Club has like become this. That's like an iconic commercial. That
Old Spice
paved the way for that style because Old Spice is just that ad when he's on a horse and then the camera pans back. I remember like. How did they do that? Like my mind was blown because that was all in camera and like that stuff's happening on. I think I watched it behind the scenes and I went back and watched it. I think this is like a couple months ago. I was like, oh, what about I want to watch that? And I laughed out loud. It's such a good spot.
Really good. The Old Spice was really good.
I'm in a unique situation because I make commercials, so I'm like very in that world. But Old Spice, I'm on a Horse has got to be the best commercial of all time.
Those Old
Spice commercials. You got a best commercial of all time?
It might be that Snickers almond commercial.
I don't know if I've seen. I remember that joke, but I don't remember him jumping out of the car.
Like the car crashes after it goes into like a fire hydrant. But like it's such a simple commercial and it's such a simple joke.
I love
that
the simple.
They just did quick.
I love simple formats.
This is great. I think this is a really good and well done commercial. I don't know.
I used to love the Sonic guys commercials too. Those were really funny.
Used to. Now they try to keep doing that same format with different people.
They are
like, what the heck?
Okay, me and a friend were talking about this the other
day. It's terrible.
It's like shockingly bad. The new Sonic commercials, where they're like, it's not even funny, and they're talk weird, and like their cadence is off, and like it's just a really like, how did this make it? If you know what I'm talking about, it's like
that's why I stopped going to Sonic.
Yeah, like the Sonic guys, bring them back, man.
Yeah, bring back the original Sonic guys, or be nothing Sonic.
Yes.
So yeah, Mayhem from Allstate.
Mayhem from Allstate is my number 4. Love him. I don't even know the actor's name, but he's great.
You probably learn it because you love him so much.
Yeah, I probably should.
Probably should. You typically know the actor's name, which is
he's like such a B-list actor, though.
It's true.
Like, he's just like
he's got that character.
He's got that character. He comes in.
He's that character.
Pops into shows every so often.
Yeah. So my number 4, obviously, like I said, getting close to Halloween. That's why these. It's not technically one. These 3 popped into my mind. The 3 witches from Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah,
man! Because
those are great.
Getting close to Halloween.
Now
they are Bette Midler.
Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker is one of them, and then the third one,
and then the third.
Yeah,
but like just as far as villains go, I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, they're pretty iconic, I suppose, but you wouldn't necessarily put them in like the category of like that villain.
That was another movie that we watched a lot as kids.
So much,
and dude, I watched it recently, and it's dark.
It's dark. It's very dark.
They're like straight up doing child sacrifice at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like still sucking the souls out. I mean, it's like dark stuff.
I'm aware.
Disney.
Believe me, I know. but I mean, for us growing up, we watched it so much, and it was just like those villains were like, in a sense, very terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, but also like they were really.
I put a spell on you.
Yes, that song. So good.
Bet.
Again,
you did it, Bet.
You did it. You did so great. You did exactly what you do, Bet, and you did it the best.
Yeah, thanks, Bet. Appreciate it.
But yeah, that's all I really had to say about it. I really respect it, and because
I remember thinking
it's probably I don't know if I'd say it's the most iconic Halloween movie, but it's probably up there.
I mean, when you're talking about iconic Halloween movies, you're talking about Michael Myers. You're talking about
But I mean, just like a family Halloween movie, I suppose.
Child sacrifice.
I don't like the scary movies, Roman.
I went through a phase where I did.
I suppose.
But this isn't really Halloween villains
this is just villains. Yeah, this is just but
I literally just named Mayhem from Allstate, so we're all over the map.
We're all over today. They're all villains.
Over the
They're
map.
all villains. But I would say the 3 witches, they're the way they play off each other is just really great in that movie.
I remember thinking the cat when he turns into a boy,
Zachary Binks.
Yeah, I remember thinking, man, that kid's cool.
Yeah.
He's got that flowing white shirt. And he's got the long hair. I was like,
made me want a flowing white shirt.
I know. I was like, man, I got to get me a flowing white shirt and some long hair. He's
and I realized I was chubby and it wouldn't have worked.
You did have long hair.
My hair was curly and I was chubby.
Your
flowing
long
white
hair.
shirts, not great.
Man, you should grow it out sometime.
No, I shouldn't,
That'd
Roman.
Be awesome.
So for those of you watching,
you would have the hair like. You would have like Justin Bieber hair. Long hair.
So when my hair grows out, it goes like this. If you're watching, if you're not watching and you're listening, my hands are over my head and just expanding, and it afros out. But it obviously I'm white, so it gets to a point. It's not that curly,
and it falls,
and it just falls over. So it gets taller, and the top just goes.
You should
and
do
just falls
it.
over to the side.
You should do it, man.
And I'm not willing to straighten my hair. That sounds so...
No, you don't have to straighten it. All bets are off these days. Long hair's in, man.
I know.
Weird long hair is in.
I know. I mean, you've seen Rhett from Rhett and Link lately, right? He's got like a freaking lion's mane.
They're off my radar.
They're off my radar too, but they popped up on my timeline the other day, and he's an Adonis with that hair.
Yeah, I mean, like... You should do it.
I'm not gonna, but thanks for the...
I think you get a lot of respect.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I think I'd get fired.
I think you get a lot of respect from the kids.
I think not my kids.
All right,
but that was my number. I don't number them. Number 4, I think.
I think I had a crush on the lead girl on that, the blonde girl at her house with the.
I was pretty young, so I didn't really have a crush on any of them. But
anyway,
yeah.
Number 3,
but the cat. Now, I didn't have a crush on the cat.
I don't know.
Cool cat.
I don't know if these. I put these are 2 villains, but I think they're in the same movie. But I'll have to check with you. I can't remember. It is Mr. Freeze and the Riddler. Were they in the same movie in the Batmans, the live action Batmans?
So Jim Carrey and then Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jim Carrey and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Was it the same one? Because I think it was. Which is like,
it was.
How did you? Was Poison Ivy in this one too?
Poison Ivy was definitely in the one that Mr. Freeze was in.
But
which makes me wonder if the Riddler was in that same one, because the Riddler was in
all three
the
of
Riddler
those?
was in Batman Forever, I think.
And he was the only one, or there was he was the only.
It was the Riddler and Two-Face.
That's right.
And then it was Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy.
They're like, that's why those movies are so like bad. Like, have one villain.
Yeah,
you don't need two villains.
But I mean, Jim Carrey as the Riddler was incredible. Very, very well done.
I think it's widely regarded as huge flops,
yes.
but I loved those movies.
We did. We watched
them all the time.
Yeah.
And the outfits.
Yeah.
The colors.
Yes.
The Bruce.
The Bruce.
Bruce Wayne. Who played Bruce Wayne?
I can't call it. I don't remember.
It is the ER guy.
I don't remember his name.
This is driving me. The one.
This seems like a waste of our time.
The good-looking Ocean's 11 guy.
Clooney?
George Clooney.
Oh, yeah. Was that really George Clooney?
Yes.
I was young. I was
George
very, very
Clooney
young.
played Batman. I don't think people realize this.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was Michael Keaton, and then George Clooney, and then Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was Batman Forever, wasn't he?
Yes, I think those were the three and then they rebooted it later with Christopher Nolan.
So I was thinking Val Kilmer.
I don't remember which one, Val Kilmer versus Bruce. Who am I thinking of? The guy with Ocean's 11, Clooney. I don't remember which one of those was with Mr. Freeze.
I would assume George Clooney was with Mr. Freeze, but
who knows? But anyway, Mr.
Val Kilmer was with the Riddler.
Is a hilarious bad villain to me. Like, he just is really bad.
Say Freeze or whatever. Oh man, I'm trying to remember
really
his
bad script,
but it's also
terrible
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
one-liners.
so it's like bad grammar and bad.
Yes. And like the outfit
enunciation.
is and then the Riddler is I remember thinking
it's
it was
just
amazing.
Flat out Ace Ventura.
Colton dressed up as the Riddler for Halloween once, and pretty. He like painted his hair with like the orange.
Oh yeah.
The question marks, and I dressed up as, and I remember, I cannot tell you how pumped I was to dress up as Robin.
Dude.
And I remember thinking, mom made us made our costumes. She always custom made our costumes.
Craftiest human alive.
Custom made our Halloween costumes every year. I was
and
cowboy
every year for you for like the last 10 years because you just keep wearing it.
I do. If I ever need like a custom costume, just give her a call.
Yeah.
She's made me a spider in my youth
with arms,
with little arms. She made me a cowboy.
Yep.
She made, but the Robin, I remember thinking I looked so cool,
just like him.
I think I looked like I am the coolest kid right now.
I will say,
dressed as Robin, the sidekick,
and your body type. You had the Robin body type. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean the Robin. I don't remember
when he was an acrobat.
Yeah, the acrobat. Yes. I remember thinking he was so cool.
That's the one that was with Val Kilmer, I think.
I think so. I think you're right.
And so but he was in that movie. He was so
he was
cool.
Guy Jones. He's a cool guy. He
was in the one with Mr. Freeze. He definitely was.
Somebody's gonna fact check us
because he kissed Poison Ivy and then pulled off fake lips. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
He's like wax lips.
You know what we should do? We should live stream us watching all those Batmans making commentary. If you want to see that, you drop a comment. Shoot us a text.
You're going to be very let down. We're just going to be eating popcorn, not saying a word.
I forgot about the whole lips thing.
Yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. Ha ha ha. But I don't know what that did. It's like, he just got a kiss.
No, because she went around kissing people and giving them poison.
Poison them through her lips.
He had fake lips.
But he had fake.
Whatever the heck you get those.
But he had fake lips. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just an odd. I don't know how that got her.
I gotta watch those movies again.
I don't know what that solved.
I don't either.
You still haven't beat her. She's still there.
Love me, the Riddler, and Mr. Freeze, though.
My number 3.
Let's hear it.
Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
You always are talking about Phineas and Ferb.
I love it so much. And Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
You're in your 30s.
Roman, get off my back. He's just...
Are you 30 yet?
I'm not 30 yet.
Oh, okay.
I will be in by the time this airs, probably. So maybe I'm 30.
30 and dirty.
Yeah. No,
Flirty, sorry.
No, neither.
30 and...
No, I just think the thing with Heinz Doofenshmirtz, with
you
that
get on your
character,
soapbox and talk about Phineas and Ferb again, because I don't
One
know.
more time.
I haven't
This is
seen
the last
it.
time. This is the last time. But his character's so funny because he's just a terrible villain. And he's actually like really bad at being a villain. I mean, he's bested by a platypus that wears a hat. But he's Perry the Platypus when he wears a hat. But once he takes off the hat, Heinz Doofenshmirtz is like, where'd Perry the Platypus go? Doesn't even notice. But also, every time he comes on, like what he does is he creates these things called innators. For every innator that he makes, he has like this backstory about it. And they're all so funny. They're hilarious. The way they do his character development throughout the show is just really, really good.
Well, maybe sometime I'll get Logan into it.
Logan would love it. But
I can't stop saying names.
Rogaine would love it.
Redacted.
Wink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this brings me to
I've said plenty about. I would
we
go
all
on
know
much
you
longer.
love Phineas and Ferb.
I'd go on much longer, but anytime I get a chance to put Phineas and Ferb in a list, I'm just gonna do it because you should watch it.
All right. My number 2 / number 1, because my number 1 got stolen by you.
Well, so I'm gonna do 2 in a row.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Shredder.
I almost put Shredder.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
I said
They're the
turtles in a
world's
half
most
shell.
fearsome fighting team. Heroes in a half shell and they're green. You know what I love about shows like that? They set up the entire plot of the show in the theme song. In case you're just jumping in mid-show.
In case you're just joining us, just listen to the theme song that just happened. You can't fast forward through the... Like nowadays, you can
cool
skip it.
and rude. Michelangelo is a party dude. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, that's so incredible. And the fact that you remember all of it, that's pretty incredible.
I hit that octave, too. It was not bad.
Flawlessly. It was bad, but it was not as bad as we all thought it would be.
But Shredder, fun fact about Shredder in the original TMNT.
The original cartoon.
Which is the theme song I was just singing.
You're talking
from
the original cartoon.
90s.
Yeah.
The original cartoon from the 90s is voiced by Uncle Phil from...
Oh, yeah. James Avery.
James Avery from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Pre-Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or maybe been during the same time. But yeah, if you listen to it, it's like you'll immediately realize it's Uncle Phil, you'll never be able to unhear it. So if you didn't know that, go watch a clip from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Shredder and listen to Uncle Phil.
Talk about
picture him saying, "Will Carlton, Raphael's Turtles," and he always is doing this, always like yelling.
Yeah. As all great villains do.
Exactly. Loved Shredder, loved the brain guy that hung out with them. Bebop and Rocksteady. Oof. Those are my boys.
Yeah, man.
Good times, man.
But you've publicly dissed Bebop and Rocksteady from the live action movies on the show before.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
And so,
they're
but
too
Bebop
serious.
and Rocksteady on the cartoon,
hilarious.
Way better. For real,
they're like silly and...
I gotta watch that cartoon again.
I've got...
Can you stream it anywhere?
No, but I found a 2 DVD, it's like season 1 or 2. And so I have it, and my son watches it occasionally. And so I get to relive my glory days because I have it on DVD. I think I found it like a TJ Maxx in like a bin. I was like, I gotta buy this.
Yeah.
Because every
$5?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle after that, every rendition sucked.
They just get
more suck.
They get more and more serious.
Yeah.
And don't have pupae. Pupils?
I don't know, but
they don't have pupils as you get further along in the series. They just have white spaces where their eyes would be.
And if there's a show on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because there's a whole show about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Have you watched it?
About how it's basically a show that would get us to buy the toys.
Yeah, which a lot of shows are, but it was expressly created. They had the idea for the toy, and they need source material to build toys off of. Yeah. So they literally created the show.
I did watch that. You sent it to me, and I watched it.
And it's like a really weird idea. It's like a weird idea, and the show is really interesting. the toys that made us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But they talk about how my world was rocked because they had this idea to sell these toys.
Yeah.
And so they had to come up with the show, and that's what they came up with.
But it was one of our favorite shows.
Oh,
growing up.
By far my favorite cartoon.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. I did love it.
But it was they were all just trying to sell me toys, and it worked because I bought them. I mean, I got them for my birthday, got them for Christmas. Give me those Ninja Turtles.
And Mom has told this story multiple times when she was trying to get you to get rid of your pacifier.
Yeah. You're going to put me on blast right now.
I'm going to put you on blast. She was trying to get you to get rid of your pacifier. You didn't want anything. You didn't want any part of that.
No.
But what she did do, how she got you to finally get rid of it, was you wanted a Bebop toy. And she said, you can have that.
You're ruining the story, Cameron.
I'm taking your pacifier.
You're ruining the story, Cameron. Let us real storyteller lay it out for you.
I'm going to be honest. I forgot halfway through what I was talking about.
The year was 1991 and a half.
You were only 2.5?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
All right.
And I'm really attached to this pacifier.
Naturally.
I don't remember any of this, by the way. This is just what I've been told.
It's just a retelling.
I am attached to this pacifier. It is a cold, misty day in November.
Wow.
And my mother says, you know what, Roman, we got to get you off this pacifier. You're getting a little too old. I'm going to take you to a magical, wonderful place called Toys R Us. Ooh, how I loved Toys R Us. Loved running the halls and looking at the toys. Oh, I just loved that place. And she said, little Roman, you're so adorable. You can pick out any toy in the whole store. You can have anything you want.
Why are you making her sound like an elderly grandma?
And we'll trade it for the pacifier. Any toy in the whole store. And so the world's my oyster at this point. I stroll the halls of Toys R Us, browsing for my selection.
Pockets loaded with cash.
Any toy in the whole store. You know what's in Toys R Us? Swing sets. You know what else is in Toys R Us? Trampolines.
Power wheels.
The expensive stuff. But no. My little mind doesn't care about money. Yeah. All I know is I see that Bebop on the shelf and I have to have it.
Yeah.
And so I make my selection, Bebop action figure.
From the Ninja Turtles.
Show. Propaganda that I had watched that sold me on the toys.
Yep.
And I said, Mom, I want this. In a 2-year-old voice, if I could talk. And so we traded. I was probably 3, to be honest, because that's at the point where it's like, you're too old for a pacifier.
Yeah.
And I go home. I exchange my pacifier. I think we actually handed it to the lady at the checkout.
And the lady was probably like, what do you want me to do with this?
And so I have my Bebop, and I'm stoked for a while. I'm thinking I made a great trade.
Yeah.
I walk out of here with a Bebop, sucker. And so I go home. I go to sleep.
And tragedy strikes.
And my little head lays on the pillow, and I start to miss my pacifier, I'm told. Later that evening, I had fallen asleep. Mom comes in. What do I have in my mouth? My Bebop. The Bebop's foot. In my mouth. And I think there was also a time when I was on the way home and I was really struggling, trying to assure myself. I said, I got Bebop, Mom. I got Bebop. That's when I went to bed with Bebop in my mouth.
Yes. Boy, I'm glad you didn't let my terrible telling of that story just slip on by.
Let a real storyteller.
I don't even know the story. I'm just basing it off of secondhand knowledge that I know there is a story.
I mean, I'm basically just made most of that up. I think aware. That's the framework.
That's
of it,
that's the general,
the gist.
The thing that I've heard.
Shredder.
We're just really excited about your Bebop. My number 2. And my number 1. But my number 2, because I want to give this one some space. Sho'nuff from a little movie called The Last Dragon. Am I the meanest? Sho'nuff. Am I the prettiest? Sho'nuff. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sho'nuff. Who am I? Sho'nuff. The Shogun of Harlem. If you've never seen The Last Dragon...
Which 98% of you have not.
You should, because it's an incredible and bad movie. It's a
cult classic.
But it is, I mean, it's part of culture. It is referenced in what are those guys that did the party rock anthem? They reference it once.
LMFAO. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they reference it in either party rock anthem or Sexy and I Know It.
I think it's Sexy and I Know It.
Which is a great song.
It's a bop. It's a bebop.
I can't help but love that song.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same song as Party Rock Anthem, basically.
Same song.
But the synth beat in that jam, I played it not too long ago at when I DJ'd.
Yeah.
Back when I DJ'd, and I'm like, this hits.
It does.
I'm sexy and
and that's when they reference "You Got the Glow."
Yeah, like Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, like Bruce Leroy got the glow. Yeah.
Now look at that body. It is sexy and I know it.
So, which, if you're not familiar with the movie, which most of you probably aren't, but the idea of this movie was that this Bruce Leroy, his name is Leroy Green, but they call him Bruce Leroy because he's a martial artist, and he loves Bruce Lee. But the idea is that when you become a kung fu master, the likes of which Bruce Leroy is trying to become, it will be shown, it will be like manifested by a divine glow that happens all over your body.
Yes.
And that's what he strive to reach the final level.
The glow.
And just by the way, all you need to do is just go to Spotify and search The Last Dragon soundtrack. It is unreal. It's so good.
Is it like 80s?
When you got the glow, you need to know the boat. Yeah.
It's like weird, hokey 80s rap.
It is exactly that. And it's unreal. But there is one that talks about when you reach that final level, your mind, body, and soul must be one. Yeah.
It's really...
But it's like really pointed at the movie.
Too on the nose.
Very on the nose.
Too on the nose.
But it's talking about this glow and why Sho'nuff is a great villain. Just... Also, the fact that he's just so over the top, it is so ridiculous, is that whenever he is fighting Bruce Leroy at the last, because he has kidnapped Bruce Leroy's love interest in the movie, just to try to get Bruce Leroy to fight him. That's his whole goal, Sho'nuff. He wants to destroy Bruce Leroy and prove that he is
because
the master.
Bruce Leroy is the best fighter in Harlem.
And that's what everyone said. And that's what everyone says. And like when Sho'nuff goes around, there's this kid.
What a thin plot.
This kid's like, Bruce Leroy can beat you. And he's like, who said that? Bring him over to me. And like they bring this kid down and he's just
does Sho'nuff glow? Does he have the glow?
This is what I was getting at.
Oh, sorry.
This is why he's such a good villain, because whenever it's that last final battle, that fight scene, he just does one of these like weird like tiger claw things and only his arms glow in red. Just his arms. So he's not like a true master, but he has reached a level close to that where his arms are glowing red.
It was probably groundbreaking special effects at that point.
And I mean, Leroy's shook, Roman. He's shook because this guy's glowing and he doesn't have any glow until he gets angry
catching
bullets with his teeth. Man, what a good movie. Woo! I'm about to watch that again soon.
You have it on.
I do. I've bought it on Apple. I have the DVD. So if you want to borrow that, I have it on Apple.
I don't.
The Last Dragon. If you are at all interested in any sort of kung fu movie, it is so good. It is like it to this. Like honestly, it's like up there in my top 3 movies. I think Dad had it on
VHS.
Well, it's just such
we watched.
The martial arts in it is really well done. It's really good martial arts, minus Sho'nuff, who's just doing a bunch of this because he was an actor and not a martial artist.
We grew up very much judging all movies' martial arts techniques.
Well, yeah,
because we were purists.
Very much so
in the Taekwondo.
Very much
form.
I still am. When I see a bad fight scene or a fight scene that I know they're doing a bunch of camera movement, so you don't see how lame of a fight scene it is, it kind of makes me upset.
Yeah, that's why I love about you appreciate Jackie Chan for that reason.
Yes, very much so.
His is just like lock the camera off, wide shot, and play out the stunts.
And what I love about Jackie Chan too is he brings humor into his fight scenes like nobody else does. Like most people want to look super cool, but he does these kicks that look super cool. He uses all these props that look super cool, but the second he punches someone, he does one of these and like, ow, it hurts because he's just making a joke about it. But he's very good martial artist as well. He's a master
at what he does.
He is very much a master at what he does. But also, that's why I just recently saw the movie Shang-Chi.
Is it a new movie?
It's a Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, if you've not seen it.
A Marvel movie?
It is a Kung Fu Marvel movie, people.
Where? Disney? Plus?
I went to theaters twice already and saw it. It's amazing. Martial arts is great in it. But it feels like a classic Kung Fu movie.
Is Jackie Chan in this movie?
He's not. I wish he was. I kind of was holding out for hope.
Where have I been? I have not heard. Is this in theaters right now?
The Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. It is a great movie because what it does is it feels like an old Kung Fu movie mixed with like a superhero movie, like perfect blend, which gives them essentially, you know how Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, they're like floating all over the place and you're like, what the crap is happening? Mm-hmm. Well, now they have a reason to because it's a Marvel movie. Like they have a reason to be floating around. There's a purpose. They have these rings that are just like flying off their arms and they're like shooting them at people. It's really cool. Very well done. But the fight scenes in it, choice. But show enough. But the villain, like where I was getting at with Shang-Chi, the hero and the villain, like everybody who's in it, pretty good martial artists, and like you can tell they are good at their craft. But show enough was not so much. That's why they just made his arms. Though. Yeah. Oh man, great catchphrase. It's just so good.
All right, who's your number one?
My number one, man. I'm talking for a while. Show enough was great. I just
don't get Cameron going. Been my number one. Two things you can't get Cameron going on: Phineas and Ferb. And Last Dragon, and both of them have played into his list today.
Yes, it's true. Last one, my number one, which show enough should have been my number one, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I didn't think enough people were going to know who it was, and I also didn't realize I would get that passionate about it. But the last one is Bane, Tom Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
From the Dark Knight Rises. I think, this is what, he's a great villain. Unreal. Like, to do everything that he's doing with that mask, to play all of it with just his
performance of the actor at this point.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
But also just like, he was huge. There's a scene in it.
He got juiced.
There's a scene in this movie where they're fighting in this weird, like, there's like a waterfall and there's like chains hanging from the ceiling. But Tom Hardy like does this thing where he like climbs down the chain to Batman, or well, I guess Bane climbs down the chain. And I rewound it and looked at those arms as he's climbing because they were just like bulging. And I was like, that is so intimidating.
Probably steroids.
He was but he was massive. But also, I think, and this is why I put him on like a B rate, like B list, because I think he gets overshadowed by the Joker, honestly. Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight
would have been on the list if this was A-list villains for sure.
He would have been probably my number one. But that's not to say that Bane is not a very good villain as well, because even just his mannerisms, like there's the scene where they first see Bane's trying to get to Batman. He's just holding on to that vest, just literally just walking in, strolling.
Yeah, he did
very Darth Vader-esque.
Yeah, definitely Darth Vader inspired.
Yes, and just
he did some cool things with that character.
There's a countenance to him that as he walks in. And even when the kid's doing the national anthem, he just is standing there as he's about to blow up the stadium. And he just goes, "What a lovely, lovely voice!"
Yeah,
it's just such.
I'm
the character's so good.
I'm due for a.
You gotta trill it.
I gotta trill it.
You gotta trill it again.
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
I really like all of them. I really like one.
They are all truly
going back and
great.
watching one. One feels so like. Yeah. You know, it's the scale is so much smaller. Yeah. They shot it in a studio.
Right.
Like the scale is just like nice and intimate. And then 2 just gets insane. And then 3 is just it's a little long. 3 is it goes on a little long.
I see that.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's kind of.
I love GJL.
Do you like GJL?
I actually do like GJL. I respect him.
I like him in certain regards. I don't even remember what character he even plays. Is he like Commissioner?
Robin. Well.
Is he Robin?
He would end up ended.
That's what he played.
He would have ended up being Robin.
I don't even remember.
But yeah, he was like just a police officer, I guess, or like a detective.
He wasn't an acrobat.
No, he was just a detective at the time.
He wasn't in the traveling circus.
Right. Much like
he's a much less cool Robin.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
than the first guy.
He ends up getting to the Batcave at the end of the movie.
Maybe we should do what Joe Rogan does on his podcast and have a guy that's looking stuff up for us during the show.
We should. Can you, Mom? Can you get that?
Mom, can you look up who the original Robin was?
Yep. Thanks, Mom.
His name's escaping me right now.
Some bologna.
Also, which one?
Bologna sandwich too, if you have time.
Was the Riddler in the same one as Mr. Freeze? Just find that out for us. Put it in the show notes.
Thanks, Mom.
It'll be in the show notes, everybody.
Thanks, Mom. Anyway, so yeah, Bane, pretty great. Pretty wonderful.
On to the honorable mentions.
Do I even have? Oh, I have some.
I have a couple.
I do.
I put, and I'll be curious if you can guess this. Clown.
From Bacon, Lettuce, and Tomato?
From BLT. You know what that is? There's a horrifying clown in the movie Brave Little Toaster.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember this clown?
I've blocked the clown out, but I did love Brave Little Toaster.
I don't even know if I'd say he was a villain because it's like a dream sequence, I think.
Oof.
But I remember that like scarred me.
That's rough.
With clowns. Do you remember the clown?
I don't remember the clown.
Brave Little Toaster's kind of a dark movie.
I do think Disney has come a long way and like now realizing that these like little scary moments, though we resolve them, still scar children.
Oh, that scarred me, man.
Like even just like Winnie the Pooh, some of those episodes of like the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
There's some
really scary. Yeah, I'm just chilling at home, just watching by myself. I don't have a son or anything. But no, we were watching, and I'm just like, I need to fast forward through that. It was like legitimately, I was like, he would have nightmares.
Where do I?
That's why I had nightmares when I was a kid.
Where do I fall on the spectrum of? I saw a lot of those moments and those things, and had my nightmares, and like, it's part of me. Do I want my kids to? Do I want to just shield them from everything? Do I want them to have these scary experiences because it makes them stronger?
I don't know. My honorable mention.
Let me go through all mine.
Okay, yeah.
And then I got Hook from.
I almost did it, but he seemed too iconic.
Yeah, he is kind of iconic, but the act specifically Hook, Dustin Hoffman's Hook.
That's the one. Everyone would say that.
Not like the cartoon Captain Hook.
Right. He's the best Hook.
He's an amazing character.
His
performance as Captain Hook, his outfit, you don't even know it's Dustin Hoffman.
I had no idea until I was an adult.
He's really great.
Yeah, very good.
And Beetlejuice, who's kind of an anti-hero,
which is such an odd movie for us to have watched as kids.
Tim Burton. Back to Tim Burton.
Say his name 3 times, he appears.
Tim, welcome to the show.
No, I was talking about Beetlejuice.
Oh.
That was the idea behind the movie Beetlejuice, remember?
Right. Yeah, honestly, it's pretty fuzzy. I need to go back and watch it again. There's
a not Parks and Rec, Community, that show.
Mm-hmm.
So over the course of like a couple seasons, they reference Beetlejuice once, and then they reference him like a couple seasons later. But then on a Halloween episode that they do, like another season after that, they say Beetlejuice, and then Beetlejuice walks through the background.
Probably not
the third time.
Probably not Michael Keaton though.
No, but the third time, somebody in a Beetlejuice costume walks through the background.
That's a pretty good deep cut.
And it's like so deep, like you don't notice it. It's just like he walks through the background, and they don't reference it at all.
That's a pretty good deep cut.
Brilliant.
Michael Keaton's really good as Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Again, one of those like you don't recognize. It's like unrecognizable, the makeup and everything.
And it's just really creepy. Anyway, why we watched it and why I really liked that movie as a kid. I remember loving it.
Loved it.
And watching
it's
it
really
a lot.
dark,
but it's very, very dark.
Very dark, and it's weird. It's just really weird.
My honorable mentions: Iago from Aladdin. Iago.
The bird.
Not Jafar.
The sidekick.
Specifically the sidekick. Then I thought, he's a B-list. He could have made it on this list. It's just his voice,
he's
his
basically
character.
like the opposite of the bird in Lion King.
Right.
What's that bird's name? Zazu. He's Zazu's counterpart in
very much
Aladdin.
So. Very much so. Hades from Hercules.
Okay. Yeah.
With his little sidekicks,
himself.
Pain and Panic.
Yeah.
Which are just.
I remember loving Hercules.
I still love Hercules.
It's a great to this day. The music in that's really good.
Yes.
And Dana DeVito's really funny.
On my way. Remember that?
I can go the distance.
Nailed it. You're hitting every note today, man.
First my Ninja Turtle song, now Hercules.
You're just on a new level. We should do a song together.
The world's most fearsome fighting team.
Kermit the Frog? And then the last honorable mention I had, Johnny Lawrence from the Cobra Kai Dojo.
Johnny
Lawrence from Karate Kid. Yeah.
Did you recently rewatch this? It just came on Netflix.
I did not. I haven't. So I watched Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
That like goes into into Johnny Lawrence.
I tried to watch the new season of Cobra Kai, and I just
once it got off of YouTube, it kind of was just like this is just just CW trash.
Yeah, even when it was on YouTube, like the acting is really
atrocious,
bad.
But for whatever reason, the story hooked me.
Agreed. I watched it on YouTube, and then when it came on Netflix, I think I got maybe 10 minutes in, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
I should not be watching this.
It felt like they went from like
CW trash.
It's CW trash. If you're familiar with any shows on CW, it's the same type of soap opera acting that sucks. And I'm sorry if you're into that sort of thing, but like shows that your Riverdales, your whatever that
Smallville, the later years
of Small, like most of the superhero shows they do.
What's the show that came on after Smallville?
What do you mean?
Supernatural.
Did it just finish? It either just finished or it's in its last season.
Supernatural. The lead in Supernatural is one of the boyfriends in Gilmore Girls. Did you know this?
I did.
Dean.
But also,
Dean from Gilmore Girls.
But also, did you know Dean from Gilmore Girls plays Walker, Texas Ranger in the reboot?
Oh no!
There's no martial arts, and it's pretty terrible. But our brother Colton, who's been on the show, he told me that because Jared Padalecki or whatever his name is.
Couldn't tell you. Sounds right though.
That sounds right.
But yeah,
he was Walker, Texas Ranger in the reboot.
Why would you even try to reboot Walker, Texas Ranger?
Because you want to be better than Chuck Norris? Never gonna happen. Because they're villains.
Man, I'm
just trying to get our money. I'm kind of hungry too. Did you not eat lunch?
I had a protein shake, so not really.
Oh,
I kind of powered through.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we powered through and did this.
Me too.
Yeah. But
is that all your honorable mentions?
That's all
all your honorable M's?
Ended on Johnny Lawrence. Yeah.
Cobra Kai Dojo.
Well,
Halloween's right around the corner. Maybe our next episode will also be Halloween themed.
Best Halloween candies or something stupid like that.
Worst Halloween candies to get. Orange peanut or any sort of taffy that's wrapped in cellophane with a shape in it.
We're getting too far into the next list. We're going to have to go on that note.
And if you have an idea for a list you think we should do,
please
drop it in the comms.
Please do.
Drop it in the comms, bruh.
DM us.
DM me with
text
the ideas.
Us if you know our text numbers.
Here's what we're looking for. It may seem easy to come up with a list that's like, this would be hilarious. Do your favorite movies. Too general. That's why we have B-list villains. B-list villains.
You've got tons of lists that are greatest villains of all time.
Yeah.
No. Sort of greatest villains.
So we're looking for
time.
creative lists.
I never would have got on my rant about Shonuff if this was greatest villains of all time.
I'll be able to take that clip and put it by itself.
Oh,
Cameron's rant about Shonuff.
I can't wait.
It'll connect with all the people that have seen that movie, which is like 4 people.
I run into people all the time that have seen that movie, and we have like a special kinship between us. It's weird.
I could see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I think we should break it down with the brothers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brothers!